Hi students, welcome back for another lesson on 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. Still, we are on quarter 1, but on week 5 to 6. The topic is all about creative representation of literary text and divided to lessons 1 and 2 as you can see. Let's get started. Have you found studying literature more exciting with multimedia supports, where you can actively and collaboratively build knowledge structures using technology? Evidently, most of the learners like you have realized the huge impact of the use of multimedia in studying literature. It provides opportunities for learners like you to construct and reconstruct your ideas in audio and visual formats. Through multimedia platforms, you can apply a wide range of strategies to understand, interpret, and evaluate texts. But what is multimedia in the first place? Let us find out. According to Marshall on 2001, he defined multimedia as a computer-controlled integration of text, graphics, drawings, still and moving images, or video, animation, audio, and any other media where every type of information can be represented, stored, transmitted, and processed digitally. Now that we know what multimedia is, let us now discuss the different formats. For week 5, lesson 1 will be taken up, multimedia formats in interpreting literary text. And of course, let us know our class objectives for today. After going through this lesson, you were expected to do the following. Demonstrate an understanding of the anecdote. 2. Interpret the anecdote using appropriate multimedia format. 3. Apply ICT skills in crafting and adaptation of a literary text. And 4. Show an appreciation on the use of multimedia to creatively interpret a literary text. These objectives are for both weeks 5 to 6. Before we further discuss the lesson, do you know who is the picture at the right? Yes, you are correct. He is one of the band members of Four of Spades, Zil Benitez. And in here, we will be watching a video where he performs with his classmates when he was younger. They interpreted the song of Levi Celerio, Ang Pipit. Now, I want you to watch it personally by clicking the link on the description box below. Watch and analyze the video to be able to answer questions on your module. This video that I am asking you to view or watch is an example of how you can interpret a literary text into a multimedia format. Just like how Zildan and his classmates was able to perform an interpretation of the song Ang Pipit. Let us now begin. Multimedia formats in interpreting literary text using the commonly available technology. Listen very well. Some of the multimedia formats that you can use to creatively interpret various genres of literary texts are the following. Let's have the first one. We have blog or web blog. It is a website containing informational articles about a person's own opinions, interests, and experiences. These are usually changed regularly. So basically, a blog or a web blog is a text type or printed material uploaded online, which talks about a person's own interests that he or she wants to share to the rest of the world. And nowadays, this has been transformed into a video or another multimedia format in the form of vlog that you are now viewing right now. Next, number 2, we have mind mapping. Mind mapping is a graphical technique to visualize connections of ideas and pieces of information. This tool structures information to better analyze, comprehend, synthesize, recall, and generate new ideas. You can use Microsoft Word or online mind mapping tools in creating a mind map. As you can see on the left side, the mind map of the time management is an example of a graphical technique to visualize connections of ideas, words, and information all about the topic itself. Mind mapping utilizes not only texts but also graphical icons, graphical structures, just like how you see it on this picture. Nice one! Your very own mind mapping that you usually draw on your notebooks is now a multimedia format, especially, of course, because it is uploaded digitally. Next, number 3, mobile phone text tula. It is a traditional Filipino poem. A particular example of this poem is a tanaga that consists of 4 lines with 7 syllables, each with the same rhyme at the end of each line. It is basically a poem or a very short poem uploaded or sent through text messaging or even chat. Number 4, slideshow presentation. It is created with the use of Microsoft PowerPoint, which contains series of pictures or pages of information through slides arranged in sequence and often displayed on a large screen using a video projector. This is very familiar for all of us, especially you students when we are still having our classes face-to-face. You are viewing the lessons most of the time through the video projector. And right now, I am using a PowerPoint turned video that you are viewing right now. Still, it's a slideshow presentation. Aside from Microsoft PowerPoint, you may also use some other websites' slideshow applications. 5. Tag cloud. It is a visual, stylized arrangement of words or tags within a textual content such as websites, articles, speeches, and databases. Simply, by looking at the picture at the left, tag cloud is represented by these words. It's a stylized arrangement of words, very visual, but still having the textual content that gives out the idea of a certain word through relative words and ideas. Example, in this tag cloud, the biggest font seems to be the topic or the main term on this textual content, which is the word users. So any word that relates to the word users are given around it in a very visual and stylized manner. One example wherein you will be able to create your very own tag cloud is through mentimeter.com. You can collaborate with your group mates, with your classmates and friends. Last but not the least, number 6, video. It is an electronic device used to record, copy, playback, broadcast, and display moving visual media. So simply, what you view right now is a kind of video. Any moving material that was recorded, copied, playbacked, or broadcasted is a form of video. And this is the very usual thing among these multimedia formats that we encounter. Alright, would you believe that's all for week 5, lesson 1? Now, can you name all the multimedia formats in interpreting literary text that we discussed? We have first, blog or a web blog. Next, mind mapping. 3, mobile phone text tula. 4, slideshow presentation. 5, tag cloud. And 6, video. So you remember them all and you will be able to use them properly as we have discussed. Now, I want to ask you also, which one for you is the easiest or the hardest to use and make? How about which of them would you like to explore more? And number 3, do you have adequate equipment to produce an interpretation of literary text through one of the discussed multimedia formats? For example, cell phones, computer, or even internet. That's all for week 5. Thank you very much for listening and attending this class. Now you may proceed on answering your modules and completing your tasks for this week. Hi students, if you are done with week 5, lesson 1, you may now proceed for the 6th week which is Lesson 2, Applying ICT Skills in Interpreting Literary Texts. Just a question. Have you applied computer programs and applications in doing school-related tasks like studying literature? What computer programs and applications have you used? Does using these ICT tools make your learning more meaningful and exciting? Well, definitely, I believe yes. That makes your learning more meaningful and exciting. In the previous lesson, you have learned about the multimedia formats that you can use to creatively understand and interpret a literary text. Now, in Lesson 2, I will introduce you to an analysis of an anecdote with the use of multimedia in the furtherance of your ICT skills. So let's begin the lesson about applying ICT skills in interpreting literary texts. Have you read an anecdote? Or have you ever retold the personal experience to someone? How do you find recalling past experiences? We are fond of sharing humorous experiences in life to our family members and friends. We may not be aware that we are already sharing stories like anecdotes all day, every day. What is anecdote? An anecdote is a short, entertaining, or interesting story about a real incident or person. It also tells about a variety of stories and tales, since they can be about any topic under the sun. It is also a short story about a real person or event, which usually intends to make the listeners laugh or ponder over a topic. Let's take, for example, if a group of learners tell about their favorite pets, and one learner shares a story about how his dog cuddles every time he comes home from school, then the learner has just imparted an anecdote. It's as simple as that. Now that we know what the meaning of anecdote is, let's explore some of the purposes of anecdotes. First, its purpose is to bring cheer. Stories pop up anywhere, and these are just sometimes making people laugh to brighten their mood. Here is an example of an anecdote meant to look back on happy memories. For example, at the dinner, a grade 11 learner shared his story on his first day at school when he got lost and attended a wrong class. Have you ever experienced that? Me, as a teacher, I have always experienced this one when I enter a wrong class. Isn't it funny? That is one purpose of an anecdote. Let's have the second. Another purpose is to reminisce. In most anecdotes, people are talking about their experiences in the past. They try to look back on moments in their lives and share the joy of that with others. One example that would hint of reminiscence is this one. A mother tells her children a story about her life in the province when she was a teenager. So that is reminiscing the past of the mother, and that is an anecdote as well. Let's have the third one. Another purpose is to caution. Sometimes, just giving rules for individuals is not effective. Sharing to them frightening stories of dangers can be helpful for them to realize the possible consequences of their actions. One example of cautionary anecdote is this one. Before beginning a lecture on not following traffic rules, a father tells his son an incident of collision that cost many lives due to ignoring traffic signs. Cautionary anecdote. Number 4. Another purpose is to persuade or inspire. Sometimes people share stories on how they surpassed their struggles in life. These, most of the time, give encouragement to others who have been in similar situations. The message usually conveys successes in life as a fruit of hard work. Here is an example of an inspirational anecdote. Before beginning a remedial class, the teacher tells the students how a boy who used to struggle in reading managed to be a proficient reader. So that's how a simple anecdote can be persuasive, inspiring, cautionary, reminiscing, and be of good cheer. And for this week, week 6, that would be all for today. Thank you for joining the class. You did a good job on attending the classes on both week 5 to 6. Now, proceed again to working on the activities and tasks and submit on time. Enjoy learning, God bless you, and keep safe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!